wanted to show you real quick what we did on all of the windows on the boat. We had cracks in quite a few places of them. We were originally going to do 4 main windows in it, but we did have some other problems as well, and the guy that did the job was doing excellent work, so we went ahead and did everything that we could on the boat. We did do the front door. We had a crack down in the bottom of the door for quite some time. We lived with it for at least 3 years, covered it up with some vinyl, and it was really no problem, but since we had the opportunity to replace it, we went ahead and did so. So he actually removed the door and took it with him to his shop in Fort Lauderdale, cut that glass himself, plexiglass, so he orders it in large sheets, and then he cut it according to the size that we perfectly needed to match our boat. And you can see we got a brand new plexiglass door on the boat, and it looks really great. He did a super job. The fit is really good. It's a ever so slightly different color, but as you can see right here, sunrise on the Bahamas, you can't even tell. Sometimes in the daytime you can see it a little bit, but it certainly isn't enough to bother us in the least little bit. Great job on that door. Here we are on the side of the boat. Again, the main project we had really was the 4 main windows on each side of the boat. We have 1 crack at 1 window. One day we came down the boat, we had 2 more windows that had cracks in them, and they were substantial, so it was time to get it done. Again, the guy brings to the boat large sheets of plexiglass. He removes the old windows that we have on, and then he lays them on top of the plexiglass and cuts them to the exact measurement that he needs for each and every boat that he does. So a superb job. It was all done right there on site. We showed up in the morning. He came in at about 9 o'clock that morning. By the end of the day, he had these 2 windows out and the new windows glued in already. So that was really fast work. He does not remove the eyebrow when he does that work, and that's a huge deal there. That takes an extra 3 days of work minimum to do that. So he makes the glass, he glues them all in, and then he lets it cure for about 5 days before he comes back and puts all the gasket material on the boat. There are a few lumps in the gasket that we have right here. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. We're going to contact him and maybe we can just fill it a little bit as we need. But again, a superb job. The color is slightly different. It's a little more of a, I would call it a tan tone, if you will, compared to the gray tone that you have from the original Perplex manufacturer in France that made those original glass. But we really like it. We think the color is actually a little bit better and a little more soothing. So great job on these 4 windows all the way around. Total job about 15 days. That's what you really need to count on if you're going to do it. He can do it a little faster, but 15 days gives him plenty of time to get the job done, get it to cure properly before you go out and do some heavy sailing. So here we are, the last piece of glass that we did. We had 1 center pane on this sliding glass door that was cracked. We probably caused that ourselves. We had to replace the locks on the end of it. We used a screw in there instead of a rivet, and we think the end of the screw may have been guilty of causing a crack that happened in this window. When we first talked to the guy that did the job, we told him about it. He said, I'm not sure if I can do that or not. We got down to the site and he said, yes, no problem. Again, same thing. He removed this door, took it with him to his shop, ordered the glass from another manufacturer who cut it to order, and then he put it in and then obviously mounted the door back in. Again, ever so slightly difference in the color here. If you didn't tell anybody, nobody would even know it, and it doesn't bother us in the least. When we first did the job, a lot of other people that we went to kept saying, you can't order that glass, it's going to be a different color and you're going to hate it. Not true at all. The color is not bothersome one bit to us. It was certainly nice to do all 4 of those outside windows so that they are all the same color, but again, it was not a big deal for us to change the color.
Why did the outside windows crack, Stephen?
You know, it's really hard to tell them. We can't really get a solid answer on that. It happens to all of them over time. I think age is certainly just a pretty big factor on them. Obviously, these catamarans flex a lot, and so, you know, whether it's on a haul out, whether it's because they mount the glass when it's on the hard. The one thing, the guy that we talked to that did the job for us, he said, my windows typically last a lot longer because I actually mount them in the water. And so the boat is in the position it's going to be in the water all the time, rather than mounting it when it's on the hard and it could be crooked just ever so slightly. So it's hard to tell why they broke. We had a real cold spell where the boat was in Savannah, Georgia, when those other two windows cracked. You know, was it a combination of, you know, a very, very cold environment and then the sun hitting it on the outside? I don't know. And nobody can really tell us that, but it happens, and I think age is certainly a high factor in that.
Windows being worked on today.
Aquí ngasih buat dengan jet. Voy a traer la escalera cuando me la ponga ahí. Suka hay que entrarle por este lado aquí. Bueno. Coge la...
So this is the bot hall.
Nice covering.
Yo, busca el pollo o no. Mira para mí, te tiraron en la parte de atrás me tiraron para atrás el patio donde vivía. Sacando conmigo y dice, ella está adelantando, yo tengo la cama.
First one's in. Woohoo! Nice.
Esa altera hoy, después nos botaba allí. Ya, listo. Eso es peor, amigo. Ya estoy. Tú eres el que lleva el control ahí. Me dice. Me dice.
How to know when your dock space is not deep enough? Well, you can see your bottom paint. Whew. Ah, the joys of boating in Florida. Get to fit down these skinny little places. Couldn't do it. Stephen and I could not live here. Beautiful homes, but oh my gosh. No privacy.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for daily updates, and follow our YouTube channel for video updates. Thanks for watching.